Okay, we are officially live. Hello, YouTube. This is, I believe, episode 15 of Witch Moon Vale. Let me confirm that.
I think
15?
that's right.
15? If this thing loads. Yes, 15. Um, Last session, the party set off on the road to investigate, or no, to go track down the bandits. Base of operations, um, while the um, while the city guards of Hammerfest and the two mining towns around prepared to assault the smaller outposts they have hidden in the mountains. Um, the first day of travel, the party was attacked by a tree ent and two awakened trees, due to him being enraged after the Dryad Grove was burned by by what you soon discovered the next day was a group of hunters. um, you passed them on the road and continued further down, where on the third day you guys ran into an old man, um, who, through some negotiations and some mind reading, discovered that you believe him to be a silver dragon in
Oh
disguise.
shit! I forgot about this.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have confirmation, but you believe it to be. Um, he he has asked you to help clear out the cave just beyond this wall that he has. He's wishing to make it his. He's wishing to set up a home there for himself because he doesn't want to live in a city. Is what you learned, um, and yeah, and he's just asked you to clear it out so he does not have to leave his wagon unattended.
Old horde.
While you guys are talking, a little paper bird flaps through the air and over the little wall and flies up to Niko, where it unfolds into a piece of paper in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
This. Do you want me to just read it to everyone, Niko, or do you want me to just send it to you first?
Send it to me.
Okay. Okay. Where is you? Right there. And there you go. I just reread that first paragraph and I was like, oh man, I reworded that so many times and the same thing.
Oh, you're good. I mean, I read it and it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just. Okay, Niko will read it.
Okay.
To himself first. And then. He would probably hand it over. He'd probably hand it to Tenzin because I think he trusts Tenzin the most. And say, well, it appears I am needed elsewhere.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
I glance I start to glance at the letter, like right when he hands it to me, and then he says that, and I look at him, I say, what? And then I go back to the letter and I read it.
I just sent you the letter.
Okay. You could post it to everyone. He would.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'll read it out loud.
Okay, let me share it then to everyone. I'll put it in notes. Okay. Do you want to read it? Or do you want me to read it?
I'll read it.
Okay.
Fine. It says, Niko, my friend, I need you for further important work. If you believe this Earth Shard is in safe hands, I am in urgent need of your help elsewhere. My visions seem to have changed and a new threat seems to be arising. I believe a new threat has appeared. Leave this note with your current companions. There are things I had worked out since you left. I get the feeling the shards themselves are not as important as the people who possess them. But I've seen a crescent moon-shaped lake, a serpent made of fire with 3 heads. There's a group of airships contained by a winged elf and her forces.
Captained.
Oh, what did I say? Anyways.
Contained.
Contained.
Oh. I can't read.
It's okay.
And a group of armored stone men hiding in their tunnels. I then saw a stopped clock, 3 hags, and a cauldron, and then a unicorn horn which came to separate them. He doesn't...
Oh.
Okay.
Is that the whole note?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, 3 hags certainly stands out. Earth Shard stands out, naturally. Serpent made of fire with 3 heads. I don't think we've come across anything like that.
Can I roll a check to know,
there
see
a
if I would know
cauldron
any?
with the... Was there a cauldron with the hags? I don't remember one.
Nope, there was no cauldron.
Oh, shit. Totally missed that, Nan.
Nope, you're fine.
I whiffed on that hard. I was looking at it. I'm like, something here has to be familiar. I will sort of. I think everybody would notice. I mean, like, Niko's reading this, and Winged Elf. When he says Winged Elf, I think Tenzin tenses up a little bit. Has his hand on his weapon, and sort of tenses up. Nothing like too extreme. I guess his weapon's on his back, so he's probably not like reaching behind his back, but he's got like he just looks a little bit more prepared upon the hearing of somebody talk about winged elves, specifically a female winged elf.
Wait, female winged elf?
A winged elf and her forces?
She's a fling.
Group of airships. Captained by a winged elf and her forces.
That was my monastery was attacked. Tenzin says my monastery was attacked by a winged elf woman.
Tenzin, you do not remember airships.
Yeah.
When she attacked your monastery.
Airships is not something that was part of her attack. But if she has acquired airships, I think her danger to the rest of the realm increased significantly.
Oh.
Well, Niko looks around at everyone.
So you have to go back to your friend?
Yes, it would seem he has another mission for me.
Okay, well you gonna stay in touch with us, right?
Yes, I can write.
Yeah, perfect. You know where we're at.
Yes, I will. probably send it to where were we at? Hammerfast?
Yeah.
To the inn
Mhm.
Hammerfast.
You know that you can probably send letters by this little paper bird thing that Arxis sent you.
Oh, okay.
You would probably be allowed to. He would probably allow you to send them with those.
Or yes, I could use these flyers
Neat.
to send you notes as well.
It's like
It's
text.
amazing. It's tri-folded and it has so much information.
Oh my god, it's a pamphlet.
I mean, he didn't even say goodbye, but
Oh.
he never was one for formalities.
Oh. Well. Is it
Oh.
okay if I hug you? I know you're not a touchy kind of person, but I feel like we're friends, and I want to hug you goodbye, but I don't want to hug you without permission. And she's like,
Yes, it's
kind of sheepishly like,
yes, that is a normal thing for this type of situation.
yeah. She's gonna fly over and give you a very gentle hug.
Yeah, he will kind of like wrap his wings around you.
She gets mildly terrified for half a second, seeing as you are her natural predator, but she lets it go because it's you and she trusts you.
Yeah.
And then she'll pull away, and you see she's actually tearing up a little because it's Artie, and that's what she would do. Well, I'm glad that I got to meet you.
No, I didn't think I would say so when I first met you people, but I'm glad I just met you as well.
Yeah.
He will turn to Dearden and he's like, I'm sorry for the misjudgment I placed upon you when we first met. You are a good man. And he will reach out his wing to like shake his hand.
Oh, thanks. And I'll shake your hand.
Shake
You're
his
not,
wing.
you're the,
I love it.
nicest bird I've ever met.
Birds of a feather.
I've met a lot of birds. And then he will go around and shake Tenzin's hand and
I shake his hand and
Pasha's
bow.
as well. Unless somebody wants a hug, then he will allow that.
Asha will she'll when you go to you'll go to shake her hand and she'll actually place one of the crow feet earrings in your hand and she'll say, I have not known you for very long, my friend, but I enjoyed our time together. Please take this and remember me and Bastin. And if you look down at Bastin, he kind of like does like a doggy bow to you, like a solemn.
Niko will reach out to shake his paw if he lets.
Like
Whoa, big.
Bastin will kind of like stiffen up, and then he'll sit and he'll kind of like gently rest his paw on your wing.
Yeah.
And
Niko
like
will definitely
lean in
tense
the-
up when he gets close, but he will allow.
It's great. I love it.
No?
We'll kind of like look at you guys and you'll see her like wipe her face, but she like pretends it's like snot and she's like, ugh, it's disgusting weather out there. It is terrible.
Niko
Artie's
looks up.
just crying.
Is it a clear day?
Probably.
Clear, beautiful day. All day.
There's a little bit of a chill as the cold air is blowing in from the mountains to the east. But, yeah. Oh, you guys are on the world map, aren't you? I just realized that. I was totally on another map.
Hee hee.
Right there. Okay. Here, I'm gonna actually drop you guys on the Witch Moon map.
It's lovely.
Yeah, because you guys are right on the border of the snow caps. So it's there's been a chill in the air, but as a whole, it's still not. The ground's not snow covered, but there's like snow patchy.
It's like a Denver fall, like an early Denver fall.
Nice. No, never mind. Okay. Niko will give everyone like a final bow and is like, trust you will stay the course. Resolve this. Whatever it is. He gestures at the letter. I will send what information I can. And then he just kind of like nods and.
Thank you. All help will be appreciated.
Pasha will nod and she'll be like, travel safely, my friend.
You as well. And he looks at Artie. He's like, be careful.
Well, I'll try.
He just kind of like shrugs and is like, alright.
Good enough.
And then he will turn and fly away. Heading east?
Northeast.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Shortly after Niko departs, you guys hear the clumping of feet, metal on gravel, and the clank of plate, and a grumbly voice of a dwarf going, I'm not doing this by myself, kind of.
Not what he sounds like, but.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what he sounds like, so you go ahead. But he's not doing this by himself, is what he basically, as you had been exploring the.
He would probably come out and be like, were you all just talking to a bird?
Tens and attacks.
Wait, was that a Aidenville Gray? What's he doing out here?
Well, he's not doing out here anymore. He's doing back that direction now. But, he was hanging out with us. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Thorgrim. How do you do? And he'll give you a bow, like a formal dwarvish bow.
Ah! Artie tries to replicate the bow, but she's flying and she bends too far and she just does a full front flip on accident.
Oh, yes.
I fully bow. I give him a full, probably not like the same bow. Mine's a little bit more monastic in nature. But I also bow. It was a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
He'll wave back at Dearden. Hello?
Pasha's not
He,
much
like,
of a...
glances over at him, just like, what? Sorry.
No, it's fine. I am going to talk now. Pasha will kind of, she's not much of like a bowing person, so she'll do kind of like this, like a salute thing. And, she'll, be like, hello, stranger.
You do? So are you all helping this old man then?
Yes. I believe that was our plan. Was to help this fine gentleman, and I shoot him sort of a knowing look. Help him clear out this cave.
Well, great. The more the merrier.
Oh, are you adept in fighting?
I know my way around a hammer. And he'll kind of like toss his hammer up and catch it. He's so I'll describe him now since you guys are actually talking to him. He is wearing like full, very well crafted, very clean plate armor that is what's it called? Adamantine?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Artie is eyeing your armor.
Yeah, it looks like he polishes it daily. Kind of like he takes very good care of his armor.
Your
Every night he
armor is
polishes his
real
sword.
pretty. Yeah, he polishes
Oh.
his sword every night.
Yep.
He learned it from an old captain who learned it from an old captain who learned it from.
Got to keep his protection clean.
Right?
Oh, this is more than just armor to me. And he will hold up. He's got a holy symbol of Moradin. And he's got
Oh my god.
he's wearing around a chain around his neck.
Are you a forge cleric?
I am.
Oh my god. I want to show you my armor. Look, look, look. Are you watching? Are you watching? And she's currently dressed in basically like regular civvies, just regular clothes. And you see this gem that is like, it looks like she's got a necklace on, but you're not, she's small, it's hard to tell. But suddenly her armor just like materializes around her body, around her.
Oh.
And she's got like a full suit of armor. This tiny little person covered in a full suit of armor.
Now that is fancy.
Isn't it? I love it. It makes me very happy. I made it myself, and she just starts talking shop with you until someone interrupts her.
Yeah, if we're talking armor, he will happily go like on and on unless somebody shuts them up.
Oh yeah, they are absolutely just become best friends. Did we
Yeah,
just
I give
become
it-
best friends? I think we just became best friends.
90 seconds until I interrupt and say, we really should take care of the issues in this cave for this dapper gentleman. I say dur, and then I correct myself and say dapper gentleman.
Dapper gentleman. For this dapper gentleman.
Is he dressed dapperly?
Let's
I like
see.
the idea that he's
Let's
gonna
see.
be.
Does he look dapper?
Hell
Had
yes.
a rocking chair.
He's pulled a chair out of the wagon and is just sitting in it.
Dapper
Glorious.
Dapper. Right. I don't have control over my token, by the way, Dan. I'll just.
You'll drop a new one, yeah.
Did we, after last session, did we take a long rest or something?
There was a long rest before this session. You should
I
have.
was gonna say I don't think we used any.
I was just looking at my character and I didn't have full HP. I didn't know why.
Oh, that's because this was. I think I just used your characters that were on this map already from the battle.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, 2 levels. Hell yes.
There you go. What are you doing back? Oh, I should change that.
Yeah. Hard 90-second cap that Tenzin gives them to like talk shop about forge things. And I said, I think we really should help this dapper fellow. And
That's
I
me.
look.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of time for that later.
Oh yeah, we're friends now. And Artie is just like obviously super excited to have another armor nerd.
I'd just rather not keep him waiting, is all.
Of course.
I know paladins have it. Do clerics have divine sense?
I don't believe so.
They have a spell, but they
have...
haven't actually used a spell.
No, I don't have divine sense.
Okay.
It's gonna be hilarious when you use turn undead, though.
Yeah, what's your channel divinity?
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
He gets, as a forge cleric, they get a thing where they can improve their armor, or,
Nice.
I think that their other, I mean, everyone gets turn undead. All clerics do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I
So-
think I can. Let's see. I can create something like
That's right.
worth up to 100 gold.
Right. You basically have a very minor version of fabricate.
Yeah, and then I also have the turn undead, of course.
Yeah.
Or destroy undead.
Dun dun dun. Luckily, you have to be significantly higher level than someone to destroy them.
Yeah. Oh, I also get the blessing of the forge, which is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So you currently can destroy half or lower. Or CR.
Which it wouldn't affect Dearden, I don't think, because he's technically a humanoid still, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I was gonna say I personally don't know if they are.
Oh, well then, that's gonna be interesting.
I don't think he's affected by Turn Undead. Unless
I mean,
Dearden wants to be.
I was gonna say it's entirely up to the DM, I suppose, but if Dearden wants. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose we would make our way to the cave entrance. And for Dearden, we're clearing out this cave for this dude who happens to be a dragon. I don't know if that was. I feel like it was. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Let
Well,
me.
sorry.
What?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say before we go in, if you'd give me a moment, and he will kneel down like in the entrance of the cave, and he'll hold his hammer up like with two hands, and he will, if anybody speaks Dwarven,
Let me just make sure. I don't, unless you say it in Abyssal or Celestial or Common.
nope, he says in Dwarven. He'll just say what you assume is a prayer of some kind, and you'll hear the word Moradin, which you understand is his deity. Oh, well then, let's go to Whispers.
Oh my god.
Yes. I need
Dan's
help.
got to go too,
I
so he
haven't
can
done
hear
this
it for
before.
Yeah.
for the recording.
Do you want to actually go to Whispers?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll drop you over there.
Why not? We have it for a reason.
Am I
Okay.
here?
Yep.
Yeah. He will kneel down and hold up his hammer like he's holding it up to like the heavens, basically, and say, "O Moradin, bless my hammer to smite my foes in your holy name." And he is using my blessing of the forge on my hammer.
Okay. That makes it a +1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So my next long rest? Yep. Or I die.
Okay.
Pasha, when you pray, Pasha will also like lower her head and like respect. You know, after like she starts to understand and she's just like, oh, praying, yes. And she'll like put her head down.
Cool.
You know, hear your solemn prayer. Yay.
Okay. I'm going to jump us back unless there's something else.
No, that was it.
Okay.
Okay, we're back. Alright, I'm going to drop you guys over on the cave map now.
Okay.
Bottom.
Oh, I scrolled too far.
Nico,
shit.
get out of here.
Go ahead and drop yourselves at the bottom entrance.
Oh. Okay.
Ah! It zoomed
I
out too
see
far.
everybody else.
Ben's here.
Last time I played with Joe and he was a dwarf. The campaign ended unceremoniously. So let's hope that
Wait,
he's not just a bad luck dwarf.
Oh, I was like, when was I a dwarf?
Was
No,
that your first
we're
time you ever
talking-
played?
Yeah, that was the other game.
I have the pin there just in case I use my thing.
Oh.
Yeah, because you have to wait till your next level to switch it, or
I mean, I could technically. I have to. I can. So I've decided. Yeah, I've decided I don't want to have it as one of my things, but
Okay.
I can. I could swap it out at a long rest. We've had a long rest, right?
technically, yes.
Let me.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, I would actually offer. Pasha, what weapon do you have?
Let me double check.
While she's doing that, you guys, like, you didn't understand what he said, but you saw his hammer start glowing after he said it.
I have a longbow, a quarterstaff, and a short staff. Wait, a longbow, quarterstaff, and a short sword, not short staff. Sorry.
Do you have any magic weapons? I think your short sword's magical, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. I couldn't
Well,
find it on my.
basically what I have is I can give someone a +1 defense to their AC. I can give them a special buff to their weapon, or I can enchant a ring that will give me a extra spell slot, basically. If anybody needs a magical weapon who doesn't have one, now's the time for me to enchant it temporarily.
Tenzin. Oh no, you had a new spear. Never mind.
He has a
The
spear.
spear?
Just did
I
it
forgot
for
about
fun.
that. Yep. We've only had one fight with it since.
And I
For
rolled
its
zero
mechanics,
on
I just
initiative.
blessing of the forged my hammer.
Perfect. I figured that's kind of what you were doing.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Then
Pasha,
I'm just gonna.
you have one +1 short sword right now, but you do have your second short sword is not magical.
Okay. So I want to give you. Do you have an open attunement slot? Because that's the other thing. Everything I do will make it an attunement item.
Oh yeah, I do. I have 2.
Okay. So, which weapon would you like me to give a here, actually, I'll just copy it and paste it. I can't link it. It's weird with the linking it.
Okay. Are you?
So I posted it in in Roll20.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
so just add
it
that
looks like
to my sword.
yeah. If it's one of the you said which one of your I can't talk. You have a +1 weapon.
Yes.
Which one is your +1?
One of my short swords.
Okay. So I can do it to something that's not already enchanted. So if you have another short sword, I could do it to that one.
Yes, I would like that.
Perfect. If you just want to copy and paste that and put it as like an extra note on the weapon, I can't actually give you an item that has that text on it, but I will mark it in here that I have it as a short sword.
Okay. I'll go about figuring out how to do that.
Dan, can you show her how to make it a +1 and then you're just gonna have to remember the other part. That's why I say just copy and paste it is easier.
Yeah.
But I figure you're probably the best person for this since it's as a reaction after getting hit and you're kind of one of our tankier people.
Yeah. Thank you.
Obviously, our dwarf is tanky, but he already has his enchanted weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a shield too, by the way, with a. You said it was a big eye on it, right, Dan?
What on it?
Yeah, it's got like a big eyeball on it.
I'm trying to
Or at least
remember
that's
which
what the
one.
magic item says.
If it's the one that
It's
gives you bonus to observation
Mhm.
or perception.
Yeah, it could have an eye. Yeah.
I'll just keep that in mind. I haven't quite figured out how to do it, but it's right here in the chat. So
if you refresh your character sheet, it should be updated now. I customized it for you.
thank
Yay!
you.
If it doesn't have to be that, Dan, I'd rather have it have the symbol of Moradin on it as well. Or like a forge or an anvil or something along those lines.
I'll be right back. I gotta take my nighttime medicines.
Okay. Thank you again, Artie.
Yeah. And then I don't need pen. Pen can go away.
I just realized I never caught your all's names. Obviously, you are Artie.
Yeah, I'm Artie.
Is that RT?
Well, it's kind of short for Artemis. I usually spell it ARTY, but the letters R, D are also acceptable. That's an inside joke because it stands for research and development, which was kind of like my thing. So.
Noted. And no one else has names?
I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. Unless Dearden would like me to introduce him. She says out loud, looking at Dearden.
I'm guessing tall and dark is Dearden.
Yeah, that's Dearden.
I don't know if he's handsome. I can't see his face.
I replied, Dearden.
Dearden is being replied upon.
Yep.
He would give Dearden a wink when he says that, just kind of like joking with him.
I like it. He's suave.
See, Dearden's the most handsome of us. That's why he's got to wear the mask all the time. He's just too pretty.
Hey, but
I mean,
what
I'm
about
sorry.
Bastion?
Bastion is also very pretty.
I'll
But I
kind
mean,
of
look
like
at this
lean
guy.
down. And I'll
Aw.
like ruffle his fur, and I'll be like, "Yes, you are a handsome man, aren't you? Yes, you are." 1 second.
So yeah, that one's Bastion. Bastion. I can't talk.
Sorry, child aggro.
Back. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, and Thorgrim would, if Batchin would let him, he would kind of like pet him and say hello.
Aston will kind of like, he'll like see your hand, and he'll like sniff it, and he'll like kind of like rub his nose underneath, and then he'll like back off again.
Alright.
You get the sense that that's like, cause like Pasha will kind of like gasp. You'll get the sense that that's like a lot for Baston. She'll be like, "Oh, he likes you. Oh my goodness. I am so proud of you, Baston."
I'm back. I'm here. What happened?
Tenzin died.
Ah, damn it. Alright, time to break out the new character.
Lol.
Okay.
Jorak comes in, level 20.
Yeah.
And then a rock falls on him.
Tenzin found a
Does
waterfall and decided to take a shower, and there was a water weird in it.
Oh no.
Classic water weirds.
That's weird, man.
Classic water weird, creeping in a waterfall, waiting for an unsuspecting victim.
To come shower.
Yep.
Yeah. After 45 minutes, the party comes looking for you.
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
Like, he should be done by now, right?
No, Tenzin doesn't take 45-minute showers. Tenzin does like everything in like 5 minutes or less.
Believable.
Like, he probably
Very
is done in like
believable.
3 minutes.
Sounds like you have to wash your hair or anything.
Nope.
Is he bald?
So,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So you guys have entered into the cave now.
Oh, I thought we were doing introduction.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
he asked everyone's name, but
Sorry.
half the people weren't here. So.
I forgot.
Well, I'll Pasha will sorry to railroad. Sorry, DM.
You're fine. You're not railroading, you're RPing.
Pasha will after like she does the gasp and stuff, she'll be like, "Oh, I am Pasha. I am companion to Bastin as well as these people. Bastin and I just live together. We are very close. I would even call us family. Honestly, I don't know where he came from, but I've been with him as long as I can remember, so close enough. Family, right? Yeah.
Sounds like family
Right?
to me.
Well, family is what you make it.
My
I like it.
family is wolves." And she'll kind of nod, like it's normal.
I love it. My family is wolves.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I believe that there's spooky dark mantles in here, which I think look like manta rays, but in the sky. But I could be wrong. What is a dark
And
mantle?
I'm Tenzin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a
I
pleasure.
got.
It's fine, I don't care. I'm just joking.
I thought
was
you had
like-
already
I was
introduced
waiting for it, like,
yourself.
he didn't say anything.
I'm sorry.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I was just messing with you. What's your character's name? The new character's name? I just see 11s.
Thorgrim. Oh, it's
Cor-
look in the Roll20. It's Thorgrim.
Oh, Thorgrim. Okay.
He didn't. I don't think he said his last name, but he probably would have. It's Silverborn.
Thorgrim, is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Tenzin. Tenzin Champa.
Artie, roll a history check.
Okay. How about a double natural
They did
20?
it, whatever the fuck it was.
You recognize his last name.
I recognize his last name. Do tell.
Champa?
Or DM me if that's easier.
I'll DM you.
Okay.
Has my last name not come up so far at this point?
No?
Not really.
Oh, damn.
You're talking about my
Alright.
last name or his?
No, mine.
God.
I recognize the dwarven last name. I did not recognize Tenzin's last name, correct?
Oh, okay.
You recognize Silverborn, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You probably had interaction with them during your
My training.
when you were doing your internship in Forge, because you had to have gone through Idenstone.
Gotcha. Okay.
So she's dealt with my clan before, basically.
Yeah, she recognizes your family name.
Yeah. She doesn't mention it
clan's
at the
name.
moment, but she makes a mental note of it.
So, because your family's not poor, they're actually, I wouldn't say they're like upper class, but you're not poor family.
Yeah.
With a name
'Cause-
like Silverborn.
And the fact that you have adamantine armor.
Yeah.
This is good.
So, but yes. And with that, yeah, that's double natural 20. That's
That
a
was,
great roll of the night.
Great first roll of the night. Everything else is going to be garbage. That's just how this works.
Yeah,
You
we're gonna
can't
have
get
a
a
bunch
nat
of
20.
ones now.
Yep.
So, okay.
All right.
Okay. Has everyone finished introductions?
I think so.
Dearden want to
Yeah.
introduce, or did he not?
Dearden waved at me.
Was that all he wants to do?
He's nonverbal right now.
Okay. I just wanted to double check. Make sure everyone's getting a chance. Okay. So, you guys begin entering into the cave.
Yeah, unless anybody tells him otherwise, Thorgrim will just start walking in.
So before we go in,
Oh.
DM, did I ever get to roll on dark mantles? If I knew what they were, I feel like I
think
was going to.
I think you remember. You did understand what they were. I know Dearden knows what they are.
Right. Well, I will briefly describe that they don't like light. That they are specifically creatures that ambush prey in the darkness. So, are those the ones that look like stalactites?
No.
No. Are they the ones that look like bat squids?
Maybe.
Okay. Like, I'm just saying how much Artie would know. You can always tell me Artie wouldn't know that.
I don't think Artie would know that.
Okay.
Being from the Feywild.
Well, she also studies magical creatures.
Yes, that's true.
But
But there's a lot of magical creatures.
yeah, I'm totally fine with her not having a ton of information. She just knows that they're sneaky ambushers. That's probably all she would know then. So, that being said, we should be very stealthy, or we should light this place up. Any suggestions?
Well, I'm not one for being quiet.
Oh. Light it up then.
I see. I'm very much one for being quiet.
I mean,
I
I
don't
can
think we're gonna
try,
get along.
but it's kind of hard when you're he kind of like knocks on his armor.
Mm-hmm.
You take a step and there's crunch of gravel as your plate
Yeah,
jingles.
he's like a fucking tank just walking around, just clang clang clang.
Understood. Well, I have no way to light anything up outside of torches.
I have ways. I have a little bit that I can do. I'm pulling up my spells.
I really need to start making healing potions. Next downtime, I'm going to try and do that.
By the way, I have a bunch of healing potion materials.
Excellent.
I actually don't have anything to I don't have any like real spells to light things up, but I have my artificer little. I can make like 5 lights
I
at
mean,
a time.
I've got torches, but I don't really need them myself. I'm used to this type of environment.
I'm not. I need a little light to see what I'm doing. So,
Would you like to borrow one? It's bigger than you, but
yeah, the bigger than me is kind of the problem. It's okay, and she'll just tap a gem on her armor, and it just starts to glow gently. It's not a very bright light, but it's enough for her to get like, size-wise comparatively, it's about the same size. Like,
that works.
yeah, it works. It works for her. So she's got a little radius of light. I'm trying to see exactly how big that radius is. I think it's very small.
What about you, Slick? And he points at Tenzin.
You caught me in the middle of chewing. God damn it.
Blah, 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 blah.
Like, this guy doesn't talk.
I can see in the dark quite well. I have these glasses, these goggles, and I pull out my
Oh, that's neat. Did you make those
goggles of
too?
night.
I did not make those ones. I made my goggles.
Wait, so you've got goggles like that?
Well, my goggles give me something different. But I'm actually working on. So what I have is these, and she starts talking about interchangeable lenses and how she's gonna have these goggles that do all sorts of different things.
Right. And Dorgrim is totally into it. Just
Guys,
is
guys,
totally
guys,
off
guys.
subject again.
Sorry.
Right. Sorry.
So they probably know we're here because we've just been chatting in the doorway for a while. So I don't think stealth is really our best bet. Y'all want me to just like,
I could announce our presence.
ooh, how are you going to announce?
He just kind of gives you like a smile, and his eyes start to like glow, like bright, like yellow. And then he starts talking, and it's amusing thaumaturgy. He's just, attention! We've come to kill you.
No.
What?
Fire.
Too late
Fire,
now.
I guess.
Basha is just like, I like this guy.
It's very true.
He's, and I get this. This is, I like.
Good.
I don't do subtle.
You know, that's fair.
Tenzin thinks to himself, he's like, I am subtlety.
Not wrong. Not
True.
wrong.
So is there any reaction to the thaumaturgy, Dan?
No, there doesn't appear to be any.
Nobody's home. Or they're just stealthing themselves.
Perhaps then we light torches and continue.
Yeah, torches would be good.
All right. Who needs one?
I have some. Got a lot. I have 10.
Pasha's got torches.
I'm just gonna go ahead and update that amount and just call it 9.
I don't think Dorgrim would use one. He's used to this environment.
Which is the creatures. Do we know that these things don't like light?
Artie is assuming that they don't like light based on their name.
I didn't know if. I didn't know if she
like they're
had said
afraid
that
of
to us
it,
or
kind
not.
of thing. I didn't hear that.
They're stealthy and they use darkness to their advantage, is what she said.
Gotcha.
I don't know if they're
Okay.
afraid of light per se.
Dearden would know that they are not afraid of light.
Perhaps we just continue with torches, and I with this new item of mine, we cannot be surprised. So
Ooh. How close
I
do we have to
think-
stay?
just as long as we're within 30 feet of one another.
Oh. Okay.
No one can say anything that would surprise you. Bumblebee.
See, I knew it was coming.
Wow.
Logna.
Yep,
Pretty good.
I was just about to say that exact same word.
All right.
So.
And he starts walking in again.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Artie
go ahead and go.
Why don't
take a
we do this area in initiative order, just for
Oh, well, then I'm
figuring
not
things
going
out?
first.
That's
I
fine.
think that is reasonable.
Well, actually, I
So
haven't
go
been-
ahead and roll initiative, guys.
Okay.
Oh, damn. Nice.
Am I clicked? No, I was not. Come on. Initiative. Nope, I just can't roll well on initiatives.
Nice.
Gee, that's with advantage? Jesus.
Yep. I rolled a 7 and a 6.
Damn.
I just can't roll well when I need it.
Yeah, I rolled a 19 and I got an 18.
Make
on
sure
the
to select your token and then roll.
Oh man. Oh.
Oh, I'll
I
just
got
add you
like a-
this
You
time.
can just edit it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I'll remember it for the future. I was so proud of that roll. Did I roll for Bastion?
He goes on your
I'm going
turn.
literally.
It
I
goes
have
with you.
advantage, and I'm going
So do I.
last of the group.
The dice and their storytelling, am I right?
Which is Roll20 hates me. So does Avray. All dice rollers hate me. Dice,
Oh
physical
god,
dice. Love
Avray's
me.
got it out for you.
Avray, I legitimately have a curse.
Did you see when I was rolling up stats for this guy?
You were rolling something
Like I was
god-awful.
rolling terrible, and then he's
You
like,
rolled
"Hold on, let me."
so
He's like,
bad.
"Hold, let me take the curse from you," and then he rolled terrible, and then I was like, "All right, now I can roll again," and it was
And he
better.
rolled like incredible stats.
Yeah, it was like really good.
Mhm.
I'm like, "Yep, there it goes. It's back on DJ."
We just had to
Avray and I are
You just had to
not-
put someone that Avery hated more than you.
Yeah,
Doing some
he
rolls.
just does not
yeah.
like him.
It's on site with me and Avray. If I see the creator of Avray, I'm fighting that person. Like zero respect.
Okay. So let's
Bob
start
the
with
grid.
Pasha.
Oh yeah, that's me. I go first. Okay. After he says that, we're coming to kill you, I'll be like, all right, you heard the man. We are coming. And Pasha will go into the darkness, torch in hand. Is there more to the map, or am I
It's the other way.
just missing something?
This way.
Oh, that
Our
way.
ranger is getting lost.
In a
Okay.
cave. This isn't their domain.
I know.
Okay,
I
there you go.
got-
Favorite terrain, right?
Got problems. I'm just gonna move a bit. Ways up.
Man, the grid not matching the grid.
I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Making my
Okay.
gymnastics.
I know there's a way to fix those, but I don't know how.
I
Sorry.
always forget how.
Technical difficulties, guys. I
Dearden taught me
apologize.
at one point, and then it slipped my brain because it was one of those weird technical things.
Mm-hmm. He showed me once too, but I don't know.
Yeah.
He did not show me.
Okay.
Okay.
I need to check something here real quick. Okay. Pasha.
Great.
Oh no. Is she within 30
great.
feet of me?
Nope. She walked out of that.
No.
I
I feel like I would not have,
Ranger.
but I have already made my thing, so
So
made in my
yes.
bed and I have to sleep in it.
So you guys all of a sudden watch as one of the stalactites from the ceiling unhooks and falls and attempts to attack Pasha.
Hey, as a reaction, you have a thing you can do.
I do?
Yes, the weapon I gave you. It has a reaction ability.
Oh yeah.
as a reaction after being hit, if it hits you, you can expend a charge to cause it to be blinded until the end of its next turn.
Dearden would have told you guys because he has seen them before, and they don't have eyes.
Oh, that's fair. They can't be blinded then. But also, your weapon can glow. So instead of a torch, you could have your weapon just out and glowing right now. If you want.
And I totally would have done that instead.
So this thing drops from the ceiling.
That thing is cool as shit.
Eyes, literally right there.
I guess they do have eyes, but
They don't need them to see, though.
They have
they're
blind.
Implying
They can't be blinded.
blind
Tremor
sight,
sense or
maybe.
something.
Yeah.
they're blind, basically. Yeah.
They're blind sight. Yeah.
Are you sure we have to kill it? We could
It is
just
pretty
hug
cute.
and squeeze and call
I
it
mean,
Bob
It's
instead.
probably trying to hug you right now.
They're probably just
God.
evolved and they don't use them anymore.
Hugs?
Death hugs.
That's a terrible way to live.
Yeah. So
So
you get engulfed.
Oh. Hooray.
You are blinded and unable to breathe, and your speed becomes 0 as this thing wraps around you and deals you 20 bludgeoning damage. Or no,
20?
12 bludgeoning. Sorry.
That's
Holy cow!
Sorry.
I mean, that's still a lot. But
I
so
read
much better
I
than
was reading the
20.
22 for a second.
was terrifying. Okay. Still a horrible situation. So if I can't breathe, I can't talk, right?
Oh, good question.
Correct.
Was the torch caught in it?
She was using a sword.
Oh, I
So
know, but didn't she have a torch out as well as she was walking?
Her sword glows.
I thought she
Oh,
Yeah,
retconned
so-
it
I
because
thought
the sword
she-
glows. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we retconned it because I forgot that the enchant I gave to her sword also turns into basically a 30-foot torch.
Okay.
So
okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna mark you as grappled. Sticky webs.
Oh great. So would I not be able to talk then since I can't breathe?
It's wrapped around your head.
Oh.
So
We've
they
got a
they can
face hugger on
they
our
can
hands.
see that it has happened.
Don't lay babies inside of me. Fast face hugger.
You can have Bastion react now that you've been
Oh.
attacked.
Yes, I will. That is the
Bastard.
thing that's going to happen. Come here. Now I have to remember how to. Oh yes, primal. And I'm gonna have him.
Aw. Gotta roll the attack first.
Oh,
Which is your spell attack.
my spell attack. Man, I keep on forgetting how to do this.
So go to your spells, and it's the center one at the top of the spells that says spell attack.
Wow.
Okay,
Natural 20 for the pepperoni.
so go ahead and roll another d8.
Okay.
Oh, I should set up there.
Okay.
You got another one. Wow.
The same.
No.
You got-
What?
Okay.
4 damage on a crit. I'm so sorry.
That is tough.
Okay. You also take half of that damage. Because it is engulfed around you. So you take 2 points of piercing damage as he bites you.
Oh.
Hold on, so Baston hits.
It's both of them. It
He's
deals.
on my head.
It's wrapped around her.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
Yeah,
attacking
so-
it while she's wrapped up in it deals half damage to her.
Holy cow.
I assume that doesn't count
Apply
if
the
we
stunning
use
strikes.
other things.
If you use an ability, you can do a strength check as an action to detach it. To detach.
Okay, I'll attempt to do that my next turn since I feel like I wouldn't be able to this turn. Because it kind of sprung on me.
Yeah, it was after
Alright.
you had moved. So
Okay.
on your next turn.
Alright. Oh, makes sense to me. Alright, I'm good.
Okay. We are on to Thorgrim.
Alright. God, I'm slow. Fucking dwarves. I can get up to there. Can I see any other ones?
Make a perception check.
I have advantage on these.
Oh yeah, because stone work, right?
No, because of my shield.
Oh yeah. And also, you are within 30 feet of the spear. There is more. You think you can pick out 2 more on the ceiling. But it's very difficult because they have not moved yet.
Okay. And would I know what these are as well?
You would you've probably encountered them before. Roll a history check for me just to see if you've been.
Not good at that. Ow.
Alright. I don't think you've encountered Dark Mantles specifically before.
Has everybody that's rolled tonight, except for me and Bruno, rolled a 20?
I mean,
So
that doesn't
far.
count, so it doesn't help.
Yeah.
Just teasing.
I haven't rolled a 20 in like 3 years, it feels like.
I feel like.
Well,
All these dice rollers.
guess we'll find out.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll.
Okay.
Anymore.
Where are the other ones that I can see?
Well, let's just.
You think you see one here, and you think you see one here. Dun dun dun.
We'll just move them there. Are you done with your turn?
No.
Okay.
And they're up high though. Still.
They're up on the ceiling. Yes.
Okay. How tall is it?
The cave's about 40 feet, I would say.
Okay. Well, that's not gonna work then. I will. You at 30 feet. Okay, I will cast Bless on Asha, Tenzin, and Artie.
Ooh.
So you get a D4 on any.
Attacks and saving throws.
Attacks and saves.
Oh yeah. On any or
Any.
all?
Yep.
All.
All of them. Unless the spell ends.
Until the spell ends, yeah.
And then for a bonus action,
You.
I will cast Spiritual Weapon because I'm
Do it!
and of course I'm going to.
Sorry. Do
I
I add
don't
a
know why I
D4?
clicked that. That's not what
I
I
attack the 2 attacks and my bonus action attack, am I rolling the extra d4 with each of those, or just
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to click
Every-
that, Dan, but I'm casting it next to this one.
The closer one.
Yeah, as close as I can get. I think I can cast it. How far does it go?
60 feet.
60 feet. Yeah. So I
Okay.
can put it next to that one and then attack that one. So I guess I did want to roll it.
Okay.
What's your spiritual weapon look like?
A hammer.
What?
A smith's
No way.
hammer.
That's so funny. It just looks like his exact same hammer.
It's his hammer in spiritual
his.
form, basically.
That's great. I like it.
Which his hammer, you would know, is it's not one that looks like it's made for war. It looks like a smith's hammer.
Oh, excellent. She
He
loves
uses
it.
Fight.
Guys.
What?
What?
Oh.
You were talking about
You're
4
off
things
track.
again.
Oh. Oh no, it actually happened for
I
real.
was like, wait, what?
Alright.
Oh, God. I'll token for that since I didn't think about that.
Are you trying to find one?
I'll make one really quick.
Okay. Sounds good. I was gonna go look for one real quick to make, but if you're doing it. Okay. Yeah, so this one's going to swoop down and go for you, Thorgrim. And he's going to attempt to make, and he's going to miss. Okay. For right now, I'm going to throw the pin down for spiritual weapon. Okay. So that dark mantle is now on the ground. Dearden, it's your turn.
Would Dearden know how their vision works?
Go ahead and roll a history check for me.
Squid bats, I assume, just based on the fact that they're squid bats, would either have echolocation or like an electromagnetic sense around them.
Yes, you would know how they work. Because you did have advantage because of where you're from.
So he knows how it works.
Yes, do you know as a player? Or do I need to tell you? Oh, you do. Okay, cool. I think I know what you're gonna do. Can you hear him laughing?
No, but he typed the ah ha ha ha.
Oh no!
Pain.
I feel like the spell you wanted to use is kind of how you're communicating with us tonight.
I knew exactly what. Yep.
So you traded it out on a level up? Bummer. Nope.
Oh, that's not what he wanted to use?
Mm-mm.
Oh. I don't know what he wanted to use.
I do. I'm gonna DM you, Dan.
I don't know what how their dark vision works as a player, so I don't know your plan. So that's okay.
It did to you, Dan.
Yep. That will hit.
Nice.
For 16.
Oh yeah, and this is like the spine whip, right? And it's all necrotic damage.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big hammer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge.
That's how big
hammer.
it is, too.
Oh my god, it's a huge creature.
I don't have control of it.
I know. Gotta give me a sec.
Wait a me.
Does an 11 hit the...
11. 11 will hit.
Ooh.
Like I said, they're all about surprise. They want to get on your head and then eat your face.
These things are glass cannons.
And damage.
10.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. You kick it out of the air.
I think Horsey just stomps it into putty on the ground. That's kind of what I imagine. I don't know if you've ever seen a horse actually stomping on like a creature to kill it. It's terrifying. Horses are terrifying creatures,
Yeah, they're.
even when they don't have dog mouths.
I don't like
And my
horses.
mom got bit by one.
Okay.
and
It's
it was
next
all
to Thorgrim in the Witch Moon section.
Okay.
Thorgrim's hammer. Sorry.
Get out of the
Thing.
way, Pin. I can't move Pin.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what happens. Yep, you're right, Tenzin.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm really sad you didn't go for a Thorgrim hammer. I thought you were going to.
No, it's just a normal smithing hammer, basically. I mean, if you zoom in, you can. It's got like little
Mm-hmm.
things
Man,
on it.
there
You
is
can't
a
really tell.
helicopter hovering just like outside of my house.
Oh, wow. Okay, Artie, it is now your turn.
Loud as hell. Are you
Excellent.
guys picking that up? I don't know. Okay.
I'm not.
Good. It's loud as shit on my end.
Yeah, we're not hearing anything.
Okay, good. I'm hearing it clear as day through like double pane glass. No, I don't need a bug out bag. No one would ever be after me. I'm too good.
Because you state that on the internet.
They don't know me.
What are you doing, Artie?
Tom is the FBI.
I want to make that's a good question.
Make. Guys.
She does want to make. So I was thinking about casting Enlarge Reduce on, I almost said Yasha, Pasha, to make her bigger, but I also think these guys are stretchy enough that's not going to change much. So she's just gonna actually, yeah, fuck it. I am going to cast Enlarge. I have to scoot forward a little. I'm going to cast Enlarge on Yasha. Pasha. Excuse me. We were watching Crit Roll literally earlier today, so my brain is like...
Accept the compliment.
Yeah, it's good.
Right.
So Pasha doubles in all dimensions.
Oh, I'm a big girl now.
You are.
Was already big.
I was already big.
Yeah, you're
I'm
gonna
the biggest girl.
you're gonna love it when Artie like just turns you into this giant woman on a regular basis. It's gonna be a thing.
Tasha's okay with this.
I thought.
I make mushroom jokes.
Okay. You don't need to touch to cast a spell, right?
Correct. This one is 30-foot range.
Cool.
Do that, and actually mark off the spell slot. Did that actually come through?
I
No.
saw the save.
The DC save. That's so silly. There we go.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So I double her size, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to do a first level healing word on her, because I saw her take damage too.
Can
And
we see her?
oh, I lied. It's not going to be healing word. It's going to be sanctuary. That's what I was trying to remember. I cast sanctuary on her.
Okay. The DC's
Which
17.
it is, and it's a wisdom save.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So you watch as you cast the magic, a magic barrier appears around Pasha as she begins to expand. And the dark mantle cannot keep grip on her. And
Pasha
Yes.
smash.
Now, if you attack, it goes away. But I figured I wanted to take care of your hit points first.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to get it off of your head so we can kill it without hurting you.
No, I appreciate that.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's my move. I moved forward a little bit, and that's a spell and an action and bonus action, so we're good.
Okay. Tenzin.
All right. I'm going to let me check my. Yep. I'll get diagonal of it right there. And I will try to punch it with my spear.
Spear punch. Dearden attacks you.
Attack of opportunity as you run past.
A 22 and a 17. I think those both hit.
And an
Yes,
11
they
hit
do.
earlier.
You're blessed too.
Oh no, for Tenzin, those don't hit. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Oh!
No,
It's
you're
not
right.
letting me click on my damage dice. That's weird. I'll just roll it through here. Did it not? What the hell is happening?
See, even the computer's saying you don't hit.
This is insane. I mean, it usually lights up like bright pink when I'm able to like click. I don't know. It's weird. Okay, it's 1d8 plus 3. Here, let's do the advanced dice roller. 1d8 plus 3. Roll. Roll.
So 9 and then 4.
Yeah. And then I guess I'll just punch it. I'm not gonna burn any key points yet. Arm strike, there it is. 19.
Yep.
I may
Well,
need to refresh.
that would be a crit.
You're blessed. Too.
Oh yeah, I have advantage on that.
And you do have blessed too.
Nice.
Please roll it. I want to see you hit with a 30.
Okay, hold on. I don't need to roll it. I already hit.
I know, but I want to see it.
Roll the damn dice.
Alright, fine. A d4.
Yes, you hit with a 30.
That's crazy that I just did that.
That's a double crit.
You're level 6.
You killed all of his ancestors.
D6 plus 3. Advanced dice roller. 1d6. Actually, I'm just going to do 2d6 plus 3. 12 damage.
Ooh. Nice. I like you just come up, stab, and then like just kick it in the face and it dies. I'm pretty sure that's what you just did. It was great.
Yep.
You now have some calamari on your spear.
I throw it away. Tenzin doesn't like seafood.
You throw away the spear? You just got that thing.
No, I throw away the.
I know.
It touched squid, so yeah, it's gone.
Gross!
It's dead to me now.
I'm allergic to shellfish.
Are you all done?
I'm old.
That was action, bonus action. Let me see if there's. I had 50 feet of movement, so I'll just move right there.
Okay, that
Or
one's still up on
55.
the ceiling.
Oh, is it not?
It has
No,
not
it's
come
only been
down.
hit
My
by a-
spiritual weapon's up floating above. It's
Okay,
not-
then in that case, I'll just stay where I was.
That's why he didn't get an attack of opportunity on you.
Gotcha. Okay. Then I think that's it, unless something tries to drop on me. Here's a question, Dan. Can I use my deflect missiles reaction if this thing tries to fall on top of me?
No.
I don't think
Shit.
it counts as a missile. Sorry.
It's
I'm never gonna get to
it's
use
like
it.
a large creature, so yeah.
Fair enough. That is my turn. Because I don't think, without using key points, there's anything else I can do.
So that makes it the Dark Mantle's turn.
Did we lose Dan?
No, I was just doing some
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Okay.
I mean- I get the feeling we haven't found all of the Dark Mantles yet.
Oh, DM's Dark Mantle. No joke, I was so confused just now. I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, it all seems to make sense, the words, but I'm like, but this doesn't. They're having two separate conversations, and
Okay.
I was.
It's actually who's it gonna go after? This moment, I think it would go after. Actually, it would go after Tenzin, and would attempt to attack you.
It's not a surprise.
It's not a surprise, so it's just a regular attack. So
Yeah,
a 23. You are now engulfed by it. Were you holding a torch?
Yeah.
You were. Okay.
I removed it from my inventory and everything.
Okay, so you'll take 11 bludgeoning damage.
And I'm gonna get burned by the fucking torch.
And let's roll
I mean,
a d6 for fire damage. 1 fire damage to both you and it.
Okay.
and that would immediately snuff the torch.
Yep.
If you don't have air to breathe, you don't have air to burn a fire.
Yep.
It's like sticking a lit match in your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's the end of his turn. Pasha, it's yours now.
Okay. Yeah, there I am. And Tenzin is currently being attacked.
Yeah, I'm wrapped up.
Oh.
He got engulfed in it.
Ooh.
You can attempt to do a strength check to rip it off him.
Which I
Would
think
I
you have advantage on because you're big.
Yeah. Okay. Probably what'll probably happen is Pasha will she'll kind of like she'll look back at Artie and she'll Artie is a bit of a ways away, so she'll probably be like, "Thank you, Pop," and then she'll look in Tenzin's direction and point at the creature and be like, "Now it is your turn." And I will make a strength check to see if I can rip this thing off him.
Oh my god.
Hopefully I don't F up.
Is there anything
Would
I
I
can
get
do to help
advantage?
this? Yeah, is there anything I can do to help this? I can't really. I only have reactions left.
No, she just needs to make a strength check, but she
She already
can
has
have
advantage.
yeah, she with advantage. So
So roll it again, because you get to do it twice.
Her strength
'Cause
doesn't
you're
go
big.
up when she's
17.
enlarged.
Nice.
No, you get advantage on strength
Oh,
checks,
okay.
though.
Tenzin, you feel it wrap around your body and squeeze you and crush you as it presses the torch against you. You feel the burn, and then all of a sudden, you feel a large hand on your back, and then you feel the fingers of the other large hand grab you, almost kind of grab you through the dark mantle. And all of a sudden, you feel the suction, almost like your eyeballs are going to pop out of your head as it's ripped off of your body.
So
Pasha will kind of like cup him in one hand and like squeeze the dark mantle in the other and like cup him and be like, ooh, are you okay, my friend? I am so sorry. Here. And she'll just kind of like gently like pat him, and then she'll turn her attention to the dark mantle.
Okay. That was your
Just
action.
calm as can be. Calm as can be.
Oh.
Tenzin just replies and says, "Thank you." And for anyone that wants to roll insight, they can see what Tenzin's really thinking right now.
Oh, I'm totally rolling insight.
check.
I mean, it's like a DC 1. Everybody, he's like freaking out. Like that was all
disgusting.
It was all just very graphic and happened. I mean, it was seconds that all of this happened to me. So he doesn't look it, but you guys can all just surmise that he is overwhelmed a little bit in that moment.
Poor Tenzin.
It was awesome.
That was pretty great. I love imagining
so fucking
the
badass. That was
bigness.
the coolest.
Thank you, Artie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that enlargement
Technically,
is clutch.
technically, you should still have Sanctuary up because you did not make an attack, you did not cast a spell that affected an enemy, and you did not deal damage to another creature. Then technically the Sanctuary is still up and they still can't attack you without making a wisdom save.
Okay.
Sorry.
I am contemplating crushing this thing in my hand.
I mean, that's fair. It doesn't
I
have a
don't know
ton of
if I
health.
can do it this turn though.
You don't get to do it
Yeah.
this turn.
Okay. I'm okay.
Breaking the restraint doesn't
could
count
I-
as attack, I don't think.
Okay.
No.
I would have
It's
grappled it.
I
I'm saying you
possibly
just pulled it off.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
It's
could I
not
possibly have Baston, like, would he be able to point like in the direction of where other creatures were? Or
He could attempt to make a perception if you want him to.
He also
And
could
would I-
maybe bite the thing in your hands.
yeah, but I don't want him to bite me.
It's not attached to you.
You're basically hand feeding him a giant bat squid.
Calamari.
Okay. Before I wasn't sure, but I think Posh is going to bend down and kind of just like hold it out for Baston and be like, "Here, have a bite." And I guess I'll make a roll for him.
He'll move over and attack it. Yeah.
You have to. That's. Does he have advantage?
He does have advantage.
Yes.
So nice. Nat 20. Oh,
Wow. Rolled a 1 and a 3.
Unfortunately, that does not hit.
That is so frustrating.
It's
clutch advantage too.
After being ripped off of Tenzin and kind of like flop through the air, it's moving around too much, and Basson can't get a bite.
Okay. I guess I'll just crush it next turn.
You think it's gonna last that
I'll just
long?
flatten this thing like a bug.
Okay,
But
Thorgrim.
would like it to last that long.
This thing is surrounded by a very tall woman who is now a giant, a wolf, a monk, and about to either be a dwarf and a spiritual hammer.
Well, my hammer's like 40 feet up, so it can't.
Oh, okay. And then a fairy is going to be showing up if we can't finish it here.
May I?
Please.
Bruno
Smashed it with my
is
hammer.
our Dearden is leaving us for the evening. He's not feeling good. So
There's your natural 20.
Oh.
Hi, dear Dad.
Bye, Brune.
he's already left.
Oh.
Natural 20.
Why is it only
bastard.
5? That ain't right. That did not roll right. It says 5, parentheses 5 equals 5 equals 5.
That is weird.
I'm just gonna roll the damage this way. I don't know why it did that.
Well, there you go.
It did the same thing.
What the hell? It's not adding my damage to it.
Here, let me see.
So I guess the first one would have just been.
So what is?
10 plus 5, so 15 damage.
Is it because you have a customization on it? Probably.
Maybe. Well, let me see.
Okay. That's so weird.
This should just be.
And you're wielding it one-handed, right, or two-handed?
Yeah, because I have my shield.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Shield and a hammer is a look.
Okay, so 9 points.
15, right? Because I crit, so the 5 is doubled plus 5.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I don't know why it did it like that. It looks like it's right on here.
Right. You smash it. It stops moving.
Well, this was fun. Oh, there are more. I'll look around.
I bet there are.
I'm looking around to see if I see any more.
Okay.
Tenzin sort of shakes it off a little bit.
I would move my hammer towards me and down as well.
Dearden moves back to guard the door.
Okay.
Okay. And then Artie, you move up there.
I move up there, and I would like to make a perception for more of these thingies. And I have advantage on that.
Yep, go ahead and do that.
19.
Okay. You don't see any more of these, but you do see something moving over this way. It's something different than the dark mantles.
I will shine a light that direction. I
Okay.
assume that one of my little lights is just a light in a tube, so it's like a laser pointer or a flashlight.
Okay.
She'll point a light that direction and be like, something over there.
Okay. Oh, Tenzin? What are you doing?
I will go in the direction that she pointed. I will. Let me.
So over this way?
Oh, there. Okay. Yeah, I'll like go up to like the cave wall, like right over there.
Okay. Is that
Do
all
I
you're
see
doing?
anything?
Make a perception.
What do I see? Okay. Christ. A 9 on a nat 1.
Cool. Okay. You're looking at the wall.
Nothing here, guys.
When all of a sudden, a face comes out of the wall. It looks a little something like this.
Oh, can you do it again? I was
God.
clicking.
Does it jump scare him?
Make a
What do I have
wisdom
to
save.
roll? Yeah, I was gonna say, what do I have to roll? I will roll that all day.
Roll for jump square. Jump scare, not square.
25. Hold on.
Nice. Oh, that's right.
27.
Tenzin's like, hey, there's a ghost in the wall.
You are fine. It makes you flinch for a second, and then you realize, oh fuck, as it attacks you. Does 14 hit you?
No.
Okay. Cool.
God. I love how stoic I was in that moment.
Okay.
The dice tell the story. Because there is certainly a world where I freak out and yell, like a high-pitched yell or something.
Okay, Pasha, it's your turn now.
Don't fail the save. Please don't fail the save.
Why are you saving?
Well, Pasha's probably going to head in that direction too.
Oh, you don't need to make a save. It was just because he was literally standing in front of the wall, and all of a sudden there was a face there attacking him.
Perfect.
Scared him.
It was just
I
enough
just
freak
look
out.
like a giant badass. Wonderful. Would I be able to smack it and not hurt Tenzin?
Yeah, you could swing at it.
I'm going to swing at it with the hand that is still fisting the squid.
Okay.
You're gonna beat it with a squid.
That is.
Yes.
With a dark man.
Rephrase that.
That is a phrase that I don't know I will ever forget.
This is like some
Fisting
spoopy
squid.
This is like some spoopy hentai here.
It's very spoopy. You're fisting a ghost with a squid.
Fisting squid is. I don't think I'll ever forget that.
Don't worry,
Is
guys.
fisting squid the name of the episode? That's the
I'm
question.
gonna wreck it.
I skipped laughing at that, at how much I like it, and I just went to crying. Like tears like came to my eyes. Like I'm not laughing at it. It just
It was
it's
glorious.
so good. Yeah, that was perfect. Holy shit.
Oh, I'm gonna wreck it. Okay. Let's hope I don't fail.
15 to punch a ghost. With a squid.
That will hit.
Yes!
Too bad you're not a monk.
No, right.
Okay.
Too bad I didn't
just-
see this thing and attack it.
Vision I get from Pasha just like swinging like just like a freaking giant, just coming in and swinging with this squid in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Just brings me joy.
I'm so glad I cast that spell on you.
I am too. I'm loving this.
Okay, Thorgrim.
Oh,
Okay. We'll move up. Close as I can. And I'm going to Sacred Flame it.
Ooh.
You're not gonna troll the dead?
Nope. I don't have it.
Sacred Flame. Good. I like Sacred Flame. I
That's
also like
a
the
dex
headcanon I have
save
of it.
for you, Dan.
What is it? Oh, what kind of
It's a
save?
dex save from him. For her, or whatever it is.
A dex.
That is a failure.
At least it was just a cantrip and not like a feeble mind.
Yeah.
True.
And then I will keep moving my hammer.
Sounds good.
And you guys will hear him say something under his breath when he misses, and Pasha hear him understand it in Dwarven. He's swearing.
I think even Tenzin knows that tone.
Asha will chuckle.
Okay, anything else, Thorgrim?
No, that's it.
Dearden will be guarding the door. Artie.
Pew pew lasers!
Pew pew lasers. Okay.
Does a 14 hit it?
It does.
Okay, so I actually forgot this last time. I get to add an extra 1d6 the first time I use my lightning launcher, so it takes 15 damage.
Nice shot.
And because I am at least a 5th level artificer, I get 2 attacks. Pew! Another lightning bolt for 6 more damage.
Nice.
Okay.
And then
You get the feeling that lightning is not the most effective thing against it.
I mean,
That was still
it's
a
what
good
she's
chunk of its
got,
health.
Yeah.
right? It's what she's got.
Yeah.
And then she is. So the sanctuary is now broken on Pasha,
Yes, it is.
which is fine. How
Those
are we
both
looking
weren't
on hit?
concentrations, were they?
No, sanctuary is specifically. I love it. It's
Cool.
not actually.
Cool.
It's so good. Yeah, that's I don't really have a bonus action I want to use, so that's I'm a scoot just a tiny bit closer, and that's my turn.
Okay.
Also, I'm 20 feet up in the air, so I'm like in the middle between the ceiling and the ground.
Okay. Tenzin.
I'm going to hit it with my spear.
Okay.
In retaliation.
Yeah,
Oh, nice. A natural 20.
both of those will hit.
Don't forget your bless.
I can't. That's unbelievable that it's not letting me click my damage.
That is weird.
So it's 2d8 plus 3.
Are you clicking the little symbol next to it, the hand, or are
Yeah.
you clicking? You're clicking that.
No, I clicked the plus 6.
Okay. If you click the little hand on the far left side, it will roll everything.
Okay, I'm gonna do that from now on. Thank you.
Oh, really?
I never knew
I
that.
did not know that.
The
That is so
little
The
icon
thing-
that
the
shows
little
what it is.
icon?
Yep.
That's cool.
It rolls everything together.
2d8 plus 3 for the crit. 14.
So
And then I assume the 16 hit.
yes.
1d8 plus 3, 9.
Okay. Nope, it dies.
My bonus action do like a cool like handstand thing.
Artie
That's my
claps.
turn.
Orgrim is thoroughly impressed because he couldn't do that.
Is this a little gap in the wall that we could fit through?
There is a little gap there.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, some of us might be able to. And he looks up at Pasha.
Oh, good point.
It has been 3 rounds. She has 7 more rounds of being big.
It only lasts a minute, right?
Yeah.
I do not mind staying this way for a little bit longer.
Yeah, not like the rest of the minute.
Okay. After the minute. At this point, you guys probably take a minute or two.
Yeah, that's fair.
There doesn't seem to be anything else coming.
My spiritual hammer disappears as well.
Okay.
Spiritual weapon.
Pasha's still going to keep the squid with her. Long after she's turned small. She's just decided that this is hers now. Yeah.
Artie offers her bag of holding, opens it up. This tiny little bag of holding, and then like...
Will I get this back later?
Oh, absolutely. It's just so you don't have to carry it around. You can use both
Thank
swords.
goodness. Okay, alright. She'll,
Here, actually, you should grab the bag and open it yourself. And she hands you the bag.
Okay, here. Bastin, you hold this. And she'll kind of just like shove it at him. And then she'll start opening the bag and eventually he'll like kind of drag over this like corpse and kind of like pod into the bag while I keep it open for him.
Artie is actually collecting all of the Dark Mantle corpses specifically.
Okay.
Assuming that I have enough room. I don't know how big they actually are.
They're like small creatures, technically.
Okay, then yeah, I don't think it'll be a problem.
Is there anything left over from that creature that Tenzin just killed?
No. It seems that most of it disappeared.
Ghosts are hard to harvest. You have to like do some serious crazy soul magic on them.
Keep it alive and slowly take
Keep
off
the
its
ghost alive.
fingernails one by one.
I mean,
I
don't know if that would
they
work.
have fingernails.
Oh.
I don't know what
Well,
happened
I didn't get a good look at it before I attempted to smash it, so
That's fair.
it is understandable that I do not understand the small details of this vile creature.
Oh. So I want to know what's in this cave when we're ready.
Sounds
How
good to
big
me.
is
Yeah,
it? Dan?
let's go.
Can we easily fit through there?
Yeah, you guys can. It's like a little bit of a squeeze, but like you guys can get through it. It's definitely narrow.
I telepathically tell Dearden what we're doing.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll go first.
Okay. Artie is just above your head the whole time.
As you guys make it through, you come into a room and there appears to be just like bones scattered all around this room.
Holy shit.
Ooh, this looks like a lair.
What kind of bones?
There are all different
Anything
kinds. There appears to be lots of humanoid bones, actually.
There's a bone to pick joke here somewhere.
Can I tell what caused them to die?
Oh yeah, I guess that's important too.
Do a medicine check, yeah.
Yeah, can I help him with that?
19.
Nice.
You notice that some of them appear to have magical wounds. Others appear to have some physical wounds. They're a mixture. It's almost as if this is just kind of like a collecting point for.
This is either the garbage disposal where they put everything after they've finished with it, or it is the lair of something. Do any of these look like they have bite marks on them?
With that medicine check, no.
It doesn't look like bite marks, so I don't think we're talking like a wolf den or anything that mundane.
That's
It could be from that creature.
does it look like these are? Does it look like these are like set up in any specific way, or like they're just bones everywhere?
They're just kind of like, there's loose bones, there's other ones that look like they might have been a body thrown back here, but it's been, all the
Okay.
flesh has been eaten off by something.
So this isn't necessarily like someone's trophy room of hunting.
No.
This is more just this is where things go when we can't eat them anymore.
Maybe. They're collected.
Okay.
They're collected here for a reason. Or
Yeah, looking up. Is anything up?
nope. This is actually a much smaller room than the other one. It's only about like 10 feet tall.
Well, it appears just a trash heap.
Oh.
Should we look around for anything useful?
Or do you depressed?
Oh.
Yeah, I'd like to look for anything of value.
Okay.
We'll
Make
assist
a investigation.
whoever's-
Oh, me too.
I'll assist whoever's doing it.
19.
Oh, sadness.
Fiddling around on all the corpses and around them, you manage to come up with 2 moonstones and about 200 copper. 200 copper and about 2,000 silver.
Oh, not bad. While they're looting stuff, Artie is going to ritual cast to detect magic.
Okay. There is not anything.
Okay. It lasts for 10 minutes, so she'll just keep that up for while they're exploring, and probably recast it every 10 minutes.
Okay.
If we have time, or if we're searching stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just got hit with the really, really tired, like, super exhausted feels.
Okay. Well, whenever we're ready to call it for the evening, just let me know.
I could probably go at least till the top of the hour for sure.
Okay.
But yes, once we have thoroughly explored this place and looted all of the things, then I suppose we move on to another room.
Yeah.
Thorgrim will be the last to leave, and he will be muttering kind of like a prayer over the dead bodies.
Artie fully intends to come back and collect some bones for artwork.
Same, but for other reasons.
Right? This will be a later thing.
Yeah. You're like artwork, and Pasha's like, ooh, no accessories for my outfit. Very
Right?
nice.
There you go.
Whereas Thorgrim's trying to protect the dead.
Yep.
Let them rest in peace.
Not with us.
Dan, I can't tell you how easier you just made in terms of like clicks and like things I need to do. I mean, you changed the game completely for me.
I'm glad I could help.
I never knew it. I've been doing this double click thing like an idiot.
Yeah. It's okay. It happens. Not everyone can be clever.
Oh,
I'm just messing, yeah.
Oh my god.
I think that's a free level right there, right?
Yeah, I got it. I mean,
I'd
it's either a
say
level
so.
or I'm calling the police.
wow.
There was a murder. I was just murdered. Wait, what?
Okay, are you guys continuing?
Mhm.
Where are you guys going?
I have been letting Thorgrim take the lead, so she's following wherever he goes.
Well, right or left?
Well, we came in to the right.
Well, I
Well,
meant
there's a place
that
straight ahead
right.
of us.
I meant
Oh, so
that
okay,
way.
so
Well, he's
There.
also a human who's blind beyond 30 feet.
It's true.
60.
He's got
Oh, 60
glass.
feet, that's right.
I've got the glasses.
And he has a torch too. Oh no, it was snuffed out.
Yeah, that torch got
Well, you
put
can
out
just
on my
relight it,
skin.
right?
Yeah, I got put out against your neck.
Mm.
You got a bit of Is anybody hurt? Like actually hurt?
I mean, I took a pretty hard shot, but I'm fine.
I
I'm
think
comfortable.
Pasha and
Good,
Tenzin are both injured, but they're not.
Yeah.
but not bad.
Yeah, I'm just a little beat up. I'm not nothing devastating.
Um,
Shall we?
we're gonna say Dearden's gonna go to this side and check out this side while you guys go to the other one.
By himself?
This
I-
is-
He's
I
got
don't
horsey.
think Thorgrim would allow him to do that by himself.
Shh. Just let it happen.
Huh?
Just let it
Let
happen.
it happen.
Okay. Maybe he didn't see it because I was praying over the bone.
I mean, yeah, that totally could happen.
All right. Well, this way then. Yes. No. Maybe.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
I'm guessing I'm not allowed to go that way because Durin.
Oh yeah.
Well, Artie has a rule about always going left, so Artie would suggest we go this direction.
Is it actually a thing?
Yeah,
I
actually,
don't remember this. All right. Jesus Christ.
I have a thing
Tenzin's
about
just
going.
running in
I was
front of.
I was just clicking. I was
like,
just clicking
yeah,
to move.
yeah.
I do have the jump spell, so I could.
It's true.
do that.
And looking around the room when I get to this point.
Okay.
Probably. Make sure
Make a
there's no more.
perception check.
I would also like to make a perception check, having my detect magic still up.
16.
Okay.
Whales.
Do you have advantage?
Yeah.
I do.
Oh yeah, your shield. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. You. Let's go back to the top. You see two of these ghostly figures. As you crest the room, they begin to move. And yeah. So I guess it looks like Tenzin's the first one that gets collided with.
Great. Just hit me. Just do it already. Oh, you missed.
Okay.
He's just so surprised.
Pasha,
Oh,
you
nice.
see a ghostly figure come around the corner and attempt to attack Tenzin.
19 AC seems to be the easiest thing in the world in this game against me.
I will run towards it and I will attack it.
Party blade. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
The first one misses, but the second one will hit.
Sweet. And then Aston will probably run around and take it from the other side.
A 10 will miss, unfortunately.
Got it. And I guess that will be my turn.
Okay. Thorgrim.
I think these people can handle this one, so I am going to Sacred Flame the other one.
Okay. It's a Dex.
Dex save. Oh, that's a fail.
Oof, that's a fail.
This is radiant damage, by the way.
Okay. I realized I hadn't set up the hit points on this one. 11. Woo.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Anything else?
Oof, that hit.
Yes. Hold on. Where is it? I am going to. Oh, that's a self spell. Yeah, that's fine. I will move towards this one. And bonus action, I'm going to cast Searing Smite on my hammer.
Okay.
So basically, it just bursts into flames. And then my next attack, it does extra damage.
Cool. Next attack you hit in the next minute, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, Artie.
Okay, so my all-purpose tool. As an action, I can choose a cantrip that I don't know and cast the cantrip. Blah blah blah. Basically, getting a little frustrated at her very limited range of light. She's like, you know what? Fuck it. She's just gonna get the create bonfire cantrip.
Okay.
I can't cast it this round because it takes an action to activate my all-purpose tool.
Okay.
Um.
So you're okay.
So
Bonfire.
I'm activating it. I have bonfire available now for the future. She's gonna go to there. If I could hold my finger. And then that's it. That's all she's gonna do so far.
Okay.
She doesn't have much else to do at the moment.
Sounds good. Tenzin.
Yeah, I'll just move right there and punch this one.
Okay. Are you punching it? Or are you
Well,
spearing it?
stabbing it.
Spear punch.
Okay. You do have advantage.
A
So
13 and a 21. Is Bless still going?
yes, it
No,
is.
it's only a minute. No, it only lasts a minute.
Oh, is it gone? Okay.
Yeah.
So 18.
Does he hit?
Yes. They both hit.
Nice,
Yay.
18. Oh, so that one dies. So I moved 5 feet. I think I'll go and try and get up in this one's business as well. Monks. Ooh.
God, you
I will. I'll go ahead and flurry of blows.
Okay. Are your attacks considered magical yet?
I think so. Hold on.
Doesn't Flurry have to be someone you already attacked?
Nope.
Your
I
unarmed
think they're
strikes count as
magical at level
magical for the.
6.
Yes, they do. Key empowered strikes. So yes, they
Okay.
are. So 20 and a 22.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Nope. You deal with them. Look at that. Cool. Yeah. You
Oh, man, damn.
I just
give one the shaft, and then you pimp slap the other.
Love it.
I'm just standing there with my hammer on fire, and I just look at him like,
Stiller.
all right, and I just kind of like, basically like clicking off a flashlight, just it turns off.
Yeah. I
Already
just
cast.
sort of give him a respectful nod.
Hello.
Go ahead.
So this room appears like it had one time been furnished with like almost like a laboratory of some kind. But everything's smashed, rotting, decaying. Everything's in disarray. There's nothing really standing anymore.
Mm-hmm. Nothing salvageable.
Who would set up a lab in a cave?
Mm,
A bit odd.
I mean, lots of people set up labs in caves.
The
People who
wolf
lived in caves.
doctor? Caves are a beautiful place to live and work and play. Caves are just prime real estate. I recommend everyone get one.
Uh-oh.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I could be shit odd.
Get the feeling that Tasha really likes caves.
Mm-mm.
Shall we have a look around?
I think we should.
Investigating. Oh my god, that's terrible.
Oof. Yeah, I'm gonna roll one as well. Come on. 20 investigation. That's a 19 on the dice.
Okay.
Intimidate. What?
Intimidate the cave.
She
Tell me
intimidated
everything.
me. I wasn't gonna hide information from you, but
That was very
Rummaging
very
around through
purposeful.
everything, you manage to find what appears to be a scroll. About 4 pieces of onyx and 300 gold.
oh, hold on, let me. 300 gold, 2 pieces of onyx.
2 pieces of onyx, 300 gold,
Mhm.
and a scroll, which already it radiates magic.
Ooh. Can I see the scroll, please?
Yeah.
I will take the scroll and try and determine what kind of scroll it is.
Okay, are you gonna detect magic? I mean, identify.
Am I able to tell what kind of scroll it is? Can I roll an Arcana and see, and then
I could
save my spell
identify it.
slots?
You can cast it as a ritual, right?
I can, but that's 10 minutes. If we're going to sit here for 10 minutes, but I already have a 10-minute duration spell going, so I don't want to sit down and identify yet.
That makes sense.
And she'll totally tell you that I can identify it, but I want to get.
Make an Arcana check. Arcana check.
Card.
You can determine what it is. It is a spell of life transference.
Ooh.
Yes, but Dan, do I intimidate the cave?
The walls begin to shake.
No. 8? Wow,
No.
this cave is chicken.
Yeah, this cave is weak. We got.
You've already
structural supports in
guys.
this cave.
You've already penetrated its defenses.
Oh my.
Oh my.
That's right, I did. With my big fists.
You're all up in it. You're all up in its business.
Just grabbed it by the tentacles.
Does this cave sort of look like Snoopy's head to anybody else?
Lol. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys continuing?
Yeah.
Yep.
This next room, as you enter,
Before I was gonna say, before we actually cross the threshold, Artie is going to drop a bonfire right there. Just right there. And see if anything reacts to a sudden bonfire in the middle of their
Okay.
room.
Sorry. I'm saving your token so I can get it put in.
I figured I can use the pin in the meantime.
That's fine. Ah, what happened? Does that fit? That's a 5x5, right? Okay, that'll work.
Perfect. Now I can't move it, but
Just
it's
a sec.
there. Woohoo! Aha! I have a bonfire.
Yep.
They're multiplying.
If you want to delete this. Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, I dropped a bonfire there.
Cool.
Suddenly Victor.
You guys are not the victors yet.
We did not cast summon Victor.
He's got a big.
Fucking Victor kills me.
Yes.
You're a heretic.
Well, as you cast bonfire into the room, you watch as the source of the light from across the room dismounts from the wall and begins to fly across the room.
Can I see what it is?
Give
With
me
my super fancy goggles of seeing really awesome. Actually, I think they're for minute seeing, aren't they? Never mind. No, I have eyes of the eagle. These are the far distance ones.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
As that comes flying across the room.
Beautiful.
What is it gonna start with?
I hate that it has a slightly higher dex than me.
Off comment. Totally looks like the baby bowler's ball.
Yep. You're not
Who
wrong.
knows what that's from? Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a great movie.
I couldn't remember the name, but I know exactly what you're talking
Mystery
about.
Men.
Oh, Mystery Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Such a good movie.
Thank you. I feel, yes, so good.
Skull's reminding
Can we
me of
call it Dad
Nicolas Cage in
full time?
Ghost Rider.
How far is
Yes.
it? So you guys are 60 feet away. Well,
It would be just outside my dark vision range.
it's
glowing.
It's glowing.
Bonfire in the room.
So you would see it.
I mean, doesn't this add the bonfire?
That adds light too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess this is just gonna happen.
Disintegrate.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Let's have
Um,
everyone make dex saves.
Holy shit.
Oh,
That's
fuck.
also
I'm
very
sorry, guys.
I'm good at dex saves. Don't worry, it's fine.
19 dex. Holy shit, that's really good
That's right.
damage.
I
man.
rolled a 0.
That would kill me.
Okay. Is that
If I
everyone?
took all of that, that would put me
I
down.
forgot.
Bastion needs to roll too.
I rolled a fucking 0.
Oh no!
It's
Do I
alright. I'm
just
resistant
roll
to
again
fire.
then?
Does he use your dex?
For 1 second. Let me double check. Come on, scroll down.
I have a absorb elements that I'm gonna use.
Okay. Sounds good.
It's actually technically a scroll, but it's still technically a reaction spell.
Yep. Yeah. And that's a spell that you can cast as an artificer, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I just double checked my spell list to make sure. So,
Okay. So, it hits. Oh, hold on. Let me get to my. It hits here. So, oh, actually, Bastion is out of it. Never mind. So Bastion is fine. He does not get hit. But everybody who rolled below, I believe it's a 13. 13 takes full damage. Everyone who rolls above takes half.
and I take
So
half because I did the
Do I
thing.
have the feat yet? Or
Take half.
the feature that.
I don't.
Evasion, you get that at 7th.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think I had that yet.
So that's 18 damage.
Yes. 36.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's 18, yeah. So 36 damage to Thorgrim.
Nope. I'm
He's fire
resistant.
resistant.
Oh, are you?
Forge cleric.
Forge cleric.
Oh, look at that.
That's one of the reasons I almost cross-classed into Forge cleric.
So everyone takes 18 damage then.
Yay!
Good, because that 0 would have fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh god, he's not dexterous at all.
Yeah, this
He has a
shows up.
negative to his dexterity.
Okay.
Tenzin is gonna have to heal himself.
And
Artie's armor is now covered in flame motifs. That's how I'm flavoring it.
what is going on? Okay. Okay. Well, we're in the initiative order now, so let's have Artie go next. Because the Flame Skull just acted.
How's everyone's health doing?
I mean,
I'm hurting pretty. I'm down to like a third of my health.
Yeah, I'm at like 26 out of like 58. So,
Okay.
could be better.
Another one of those would put me down for sure, even if I saved.
So, she's just gonna move and shoot him with a laser beam. Or two. Pew magic laser beams.
Okay. Ah, what happened then?
Oh, I accidentally hit it 3 times, but I only get to use it twice.
Okay.
And can we use that last extra d6 as my d6 for the extra d6 of damage I get? So an extra 6. Since it rolled a d6 for me.
Sure.
Cool. So it would take, the first one is 15, the second one is 10.
Oh, I'm on the wrong select tool.
And as bonus action, I'll cast Sanctuary on myself.
Sounds good. Tenzin, we're now on to you then.
All right.
Oh, and I will drop concentration on the fire.
Okay.
All right. I will. Oh, I really don't want to step in the wind. Would be for 5 feet. I'm not gonna. I'll just go to right there. And then I will use a key point to Hand of Healing myself. And then bonus action, another key point to Patient Defense.
Okay. So you have or disadvantage on attacks against you?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I gotta do my d6 plus 5.
Okay. Was that the end of your turn then?
Yeah.
Okay. Pasha, it's on your turn.
Okay. Pasha's probably going to put her sword away. This doesn't seem like an enemy she can just swing at. So she's actually going to pull out her Hoochie. Her longbow. I will do that. Thank you.
That will miss.
Ooh. And do I only get 2 actions with my swords?
You get to shoot another longbow.
Yeah, it should be whatever weapon you're using.
Oh,
It's a bit
that
rusty.
is
You need to tune it
terrible.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is, yeah. Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to keep Bastion with me because this is a flaming skull, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
What? Giant flaming ball?
Giant flaming ball of angry.
Giant squids. Giant flying squids. Yes. Giant flaming skulls? No.
I agree. Full agreement.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that's my turn.
Okay. Thorgrim.
Alright. Thorgrim will shuffle slowly across the room. Because dwarf legs. And I will cast Guiding Bolt at level 3.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah.
Burn in hell! Whoops, that's not what I meant to click. Let me actually roll the attack. Oh, it did roll the attack. Never mind. 26. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nope.
I'm assuming 26 hits. 31 radiant damage.
Dude, huge shot. Dude,
Boom.
you one-shotted the thing.
Hey, I shot it a few times.
Oh, okay, Tris.
I did like
Sorry, my
25
apologies.
damage to it.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
yeah, she
you
hit pretty
annihilated
hard.
that thing. I'm an idiot. Yeah, sorry. I just saw 31. I saw a number in the 30s. I was like, holy shit.
That is a really, really good roll.
Yeah, that's
You probably would have
incredible.
yelled it in Dwarven, so only Pasha.
Okay. This room also appears to have the same layout as the other room. It's a little more well kept, not as destroyed. It appears as if anything that came into this room was chased off by the Guardian.
Ooh.
But the room, the just time seems to have worn things down. There is a chest across the room.
Ooh, I bet it's
Before
trash.
we go on, everybody gather around.
Okay.
All right, coach.
You too, Pasha.
Pasha.
You're muted if you're trying to talk.
Anyways, he will. I will take 10 minutes and cast Prayer of Healing.
You there,
While you're
Pasha?
doing that, I will re-up my detect magic.
Okay, she's busy doing something. She'll come over
Everybody
here.
gets 20 health back.
Everyone does?
20.
Everyone.
Holy shit, what a heal. My guy.
It's up to 6 creatures, and there's less than 6. So.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
that
sweet.
puts me back to basically 100.
That actually put me above max. I have to fix it. There we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
I wish it worked that way, but it doesn't.
What a dude, your
Did I?
rolls.
Oh, I cast that at a higher level. Oh, no, that's right. Okay.
You cast it at 3rd level,
Yeah.
which is why it did such delicious healing.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
second
the
level spell.
computer died. Okay.
Oh
Well,
no!
Oh,
we're
no.
Is that a good time for pausing?
we're wrapping up now. Yes, now would probably be a good time to pause. We can finish the wrap up and looting this room when next session,
Yeah, sounds good.
so that Pasha can join us
And
Yeah.
maybe Dearden.
and
if
maybe
he's back.
Dearden.
Oh, he's in the other cave by himself.
Well,
It was a short little dead end.
with nothing in it.
With the dragon.
Nah, the dragon's outside.
With the dragon lich. Sorry.
After the spell's cast, he wanders into the room. So, but okay, yeah, no, this is a good place to end it. So, thank you YouTube for watching. If you made it this far, we appreciate you,
We appreciate you.
and we will see you next session.